Of course. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Italian Ikazuki stream. I am just getting the last of the setup done, but I've realized that I should just be like coming online while I'm setting up the last of it. I don't need my fitness D&D on anymore. Thank you. Basically, whoa. Basically just doing up the story with the link for Instagram and stuff like that. So we're continuing interfacing. That's what we're working on right now. And then I will be doing stuff. What do I need to do afterwards? I need to do the interfacing, and then we need to do the proper like actual cut down stuff for everything, rather than just these rough cuts. But the kimono and the Obi like to shimmy and shake so much that we're just here. Sorry, dead air. I'm just wrapping up the post. Okay. No, don't stop. There. It's like I have been on too long and I have auto shut off. I bet you my iron is also off. There we go. Wake everything back up. Dallas called, so I was chatting with him, and obviously I am now distracted by getting set up for this. So, you know. My brains. Why is the video not working? Interesting. Okay, let me kill everything else off for apps and see if that helps. Because the actual stream thing for the phone is not working. Oh my goodness, how do I end up with so many apps open constantly? I guess I could technically have this on. Oh yeah, no, my camera is not working. Interesting. Okay, join the stream. Here, let's put myself onto intermission, and while I mess around again the other like stuff going, you may as well see me. I did plug my ring light in, so you know that's good. Okay, I think it worked this time. It worked this time. We win. Or something. I don't know. Okay. Turn it all the way down, or else I can hear it way too much in my ear ball, because I'm like standing right beside the phone. Live. Squishy kitties. Squishy kitties. Alrighty, and then we're going to turn you so you're mostly looking at the lovely kimono and the Obi. Alrighty. So now we are here, and we're going to do the cut down for this next piece of, I think this is for, I can't remember if this is lining or pockets. It's something. I don't remember what it was though. Okay. And then we'll get the next piece and prep it, and then we'll get the next piece and prep it, and then on and on and on. Apparently my rough cut there did not do very good about getting the actual... Oh, that's because the red shifted down. Okay. So we'll get this underneath. Like that. And then we'll shimmy shake this kimono up as well. And then, good. We're good. Shears, though. Shears are here. Dallas actually said that the sound quality with the microphone, we just FaceTimed. He said the sound quality with the microphone was so much better than the like internal mic of the laptop, which is not a surprise. But it's also good to hear because it's like, man. But okay, so if you need it, it's a $35 lav mic off of Amazon. It's not expensive. Well, okay, it's, in the grand scheme of things, it's not expensive compared to like what most mics are that suggested are. There we go. And I got the suggestion from someone else who was like, I bought this fancy mic and this one for $35 is way better. And that's how I ended up with it. So I can't remember. It's like pop voice. That probably looked like a very random movement, but I have the little bag for it over there. I think it's pop voice. I'll try and track down the link later and I'll post it somewhere for people. I should start like some of the affiliate stuff. But anyway, the lav mic, it's just, it plugs into the microphone jack, so it is kind of useless for the phone unless you have a, like, at least for iPhone, unless you have the like adapter. But you know what? For the laptop, it's perfect. It's not like I'm actually streaming the sound through my phone most of the time, and when I do, then I will take an adapter. Like for Japan and stuff like that, I'll make sure I have an adapter for it. So, all right. Guess we don't actually need the bobbin count right now because realistically okay, let's turn the bobbin count off. I like it, but we do not require it. Ding, ding, ding. Event info, yes. Actually, I should move the event info into the bobbin count because we're not sewing right now. Okay, that feels like it's adhered correctly. And then, I don't know, right, I was looking at bobbin count. I'm like, why isn't this even and ready to go on its interfacing? Because I got distracted by tech. I went for my run. I was good. I behaved myself. I went and did it. Took 22 minutes because I'm in like easy run season right now. I have a half marathon at the end of the month, a 5K on Mother's Day, and a half marathon at the end of the month. And then a 10K in July, and then another half in September. So right now all I'm doing is I'm just doing easy runs. And what easy means is that based on my watch, they are in zone 2 heart rate. So low, easy heart rate runs. All right, now we're going to get the interfacing like this, and then we're going to lay the interfacing out, and then we're going to shears it off, and then we're going to do these red pieces that are slipping everywhere, apparently. I'm not upset about it at all. Okay. You don't need to go that high. We can pull you down here, actually. I think might be better. Ding, ding, ding. There is always going to be some extra interfacing from these. What we'll end up using them for is like handles and random products like bookmarks and stuff like that. So, not a big deal. Ding, ding. And actually, that's a good point that I probably should cut and make some bookmarks from the kimono just to have some lower cost objects as well, to be honest. I will focus. So we're going to focus on the big objects this week then. And then for next week, I'll focus on some smaller pickup items like the bookmarks and such. By the way, if you were watching the live stream earlier, I was like, oh, I've got a notification from the school. Turns out that the youngest had a nosebleed because they fell off a balance beam at the park. And then one of the teacher said that the youngest was walking backwards when they were going downstairs to like come into the downstairs classroom, and apparently fell on their butts. It's just like they are a little walking disaster right now. It's just like, oh my goodness. Sir, ma'am, calm down. I think the youngest just went through a growth spurt, so it's like, I think that's part of it, is they just don't know where their body is in space right now. And so they're extra klutzy. At least that's my running theory. I don't know. But that's what it feels like. I'm pretty sure they just grew. And so they just don't know where they are. And there's just wee disaster walking around. Okay, that needs to be pressed out a little bit here. See, there we go. Otherwise it's going to like really wrinkle. Same on this side. There we go. And then we'll throw the pressing cloth back over top of it. Anyway, the pictures that I got, because I didn't realize I had pictures until I went in to look at the message, was that they've got chicks in the classroom right now. So I got pictures of both the kiddos with the chicks, which is super adorable. So I asked them about them when I was doing pickup and stuff like that, and they're like, yeah, they petted them and stuff, and it's like, oh, that's cute. Because I didn't know if they were like in their classroom or if they're in the kindergarten. They might have been, because there's a kindergarten down at the base too. So they might have been visiting from the kindergarten class. That would actually make sense. But whatever, they are cute chicks. So that's what matters, really, in the end of it all. And not something that we regularly have access to, like, to experience where we live either. So that's really cool. Oh yeah, also the birthday party on Saturday went very well, so that was cool. It's also good to see like the parents, personally, outside of the hours where it's just like, get the kids in the vehicle, go home, or get in the door, it's school time and we're late. Not like it's a rigid schedule. We're always there before the classes start, so it's like a daycare preschool setup, which is awesome. But yeah. It's a little bit more hectic in the mornings and a little bit more hectic some mornings than others, as usual. So I'm like, I don't always run late, but it has definitely gotten worse after kids, which, surprise. Especially now that they've gotten a little bit more autonomy. It's like, at least when they're like itty bitties, it was all on me. Well, that's not true, because they would end up needing a feed or a diaper or something. Right as you like walk out the door, of course. Murphy's Law, right? But I actually have found it a little bit more difficult now that they do have that little bit more autonomy. And they want to do a few more things themselves. And that's good. Not so good, though, when you're like, I wanted you there at 7:30, and it is already 7:30, and we're like, haven't even put our shoes on. Oh, well. You're not the only parents dropping off at that time. I'm not the only parent dropping off at that time, so we're all good. All right, so there's a little bit extra here, but I'm going to trim down this long edge for sure. I'm going to tack down this corner with the iron, just so it's like mostly flat before it goes in here. There we go. Turn, down, down. So yeah, so I was plotting out what we're going to do next. I was saying that I should do the small box bags next, but I realize now that, well, I've got a bunch that have lining, so really they just need interfacing, which is awesome. That's going to make life easier. I don't know why I'm trying to adhere this down, but whatever. We'll do a little bit of work here, and then I'll make it easier under the press. Katie, you have a press for this right here. Okay, I am going to shimmy it down there because then that's all the way across for sure, and then we'll just do it again. But I think we're going to do all this kimono and obi focused work, and then like I said, I will do a few smaller objects next week, I think. I think that's a good idea. Cheaper objects basically is what it'll be, because these are all obviously very labor intensive. Yeah, so they're definitely on the more expensive side of the spectrum. And then so yeah, if I do a few smaller objects, that would actually be a good way to do some of these, the florals on that kimono where I'm like, oh, they need to be a scarf. I'm totally making the scarves too, but, like some bookmarks or something like that, or, I was going to say coasters, but no, no. Bookmarks would be a good idea though. Actually, I wonder if I could or if I should, piece them onto something like this, almost like a quilt as you go thing, And then, that might be a good idea. All right, what was this? This is pockets, right? For the, I think that's pockets. But now I can't remember. We'll figure it out in a minute. These are all kind of getting done in like sections, so it'll become more obvious when I actually am like in the process of finishing off, I think. This one is fine just to go under because that line right there will just press out under the press. And then we'll iron this one before it goes under. So what do we have left? We've got, these are, yeah, okay, so these are the small Heidi. We've got the Sheena and we've got the large Heidi left to do. So that's not too bad actually, surprisingly. What did I say? I had like 3 rolls, but it also depends on like just how much extra work the ironing is right now. Obviously some of them don't need as much TLC as others, so that's nice. Yeah, I know. Shh. Okay, please don't fail me. Please have pressed that down and don't make a liar out of me. Okay, we're good. Didn't leave a big crease, and it also like pressed it without me having to do it with the iron first. Yay. Okay, just work out all this adhesive that's in this. There we go, kind of. Yeah. Sweet. Okay. Pop it back over. Do this other side. And then this needs to be pressed before it goes on to its interfacing. That's going to peep right now. Yep. We'll iron this piece and then we'll put it underneath. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. I did have a coffee with dinner, and it was the best idea I have had for a while. Well, not with dinner, but I had it when we got back to the house while I was doing dishes and convincing the kids that they should tidy up their toys. It's actually pretty easy typically because it's like we do a really big tidy Monday, Tuesday before Dallas comes home because that's just what works in the schedule. And but yeah, so basically I say like, Daddy's coming home tomorrow, so we need to have a tidy house. And that helps them like clean up. So now we need to work on, and the same with me though too, it's like we need to work on like getting them to tidy up as we go. But it's not like I'm good at that either. So it's all a work in progress. Maybe we'll get there eventually. And if we don't, well, at least we tidy up. Once in a while. I say as I'm like standing in this disaster of a cutting studio right now. All right. So we're gonna shimmy shake this in under here like this. And then I'm gonna double check because that definitely shifted when I moved it. As you can even see, probably on camera, it shifted quite a bit, actually. Shimmy, shimmy. There we go. And then I'm going to also, oh no, it doesn't need to be pulled up. It just needs to be shimmied into the space that it's got. And press cloth and down. And then what do we have next? We have the interiors to these guys. And the exteriors to these guys too. There we go. Okay, yeah, these are definitely the small Heidis because we can't do the large Heidi in the mermaid scales. Pull out this way. Pressing cloth over. Lid down. Okay. That piece is like, and I'm out. See ya. Wouldn't wanna be ya. Okay. I'll leave that up for 1 second and let it cool, and I'm going to trim this down so I can work with it while that is getting itself sorted out. Okay, let's just trim all of these down, and then we can iron whatever we need. Actually, I think that's the only piece that really needs an iron. Oh, this one too. Okay. So the 2 pieces for the mermaid scales need an iron. So I'll trim them down while that's still in there, and then we'll shuffle things around. Okay, there we go. And this one as well. So I was reading a little bit more. There is actually a kimono reseller in Calgary, very close actually, and they had posted a bunch recently. And they were talking about how the stay stitching, like I was saying, is like it's a sign that it's either been it's new, which is what I assumed it was, kind of like the stay stitch at the back of a new like suit jacket, or it's just been cleaned, which is super cool. I didn't know that, or it's been prepped for storage. So that's like all those are actually, that's really cool to know. Because I've definitely seen the kimono, like there was kimono today with the stay stitching, so really cool. Now the ones that I have had have looked like they have been stay stitched from being new, just with the other indicators of there's very little wear and tear and like no staining, all of that. Although it could just be that the kimono was just also very well taken care of, so who knows. Like I said, it'd be really interesting if these could talk, but alas, they cannot. There we go. Very nice. So this is like just a very small kind of pointillism print. That's going to look like static, but it's not actually static. It's actually a print. Realized that I should pop this pop socket off because it's like you can see it. Put it in my pocket so I don't forget it. I did not know where it was all day, and then I was like, I need my earbuds before the kids go to bed so I can listen to like my video or audiobook or whatever I end up choose or get sucked into. It was videos when it isn't. It is audiobooks once in a while, but not very often. Anyway, words, things happened. Oh, but I also found the pop socket along with it. I was quite happy that I found the pop socket because, yeah, it makes my like phone usage so much better for my hands. Zip, 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 zip. Thank you. Not hot. And then I will actually press this piece so that we can get it on the thing next. And then because I've started doing the stitch markers as well, I totally have an excuse to go buy beads in Japan. There's a shop in Kyoto, and that's one of the things that's on the Keihan line. From Hirokatashi is this like bead shop, and I'm like, okay, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad to stay in Hirokatashi, and then I can totally go have the best East Indian food I've ever had, as long as it's still open. I hope it's still open. I should actually double check and make sure it's still open. Maybe Like I should double check right now, but I should finish pressing this. I think we're gonna let's throw this underneath and then let's see if it is open or not. Yes, the mermaid scales need a press, whatever. This is way more important. It's called New Delhi in Hirakatashi. I can't tell. Oh, it's just Hirakata, not Hirakatashi. Okay, let's see. Yes, it's still there. Yes. Okay, let's just make sure. And it's still just as cheap as it was. Yep, that's totally where it used to be. Okay, good. Hasn't even moved, it doesn't look like. I remember Dallas getting flack the first time we went to Japan because it was like we stayed in Hirakatashi because, hey, cheap hotel, cheap, decent hotel. We were there for a really long time. And when you're paying for 2 people especially, the hostels, like our incomes were combined at that point. Well, okay. Dallas was paying for the trip. Well, no, we had saved up together for that. I was just thinking, I'm like, I quit my job like a year before we went. But like we both saved up for that trip. Anyway, whatever. Doesn't really matter. When you've combined finances, a hostel doesn't make sense anymore, especially when there's not like private rooms. And when you can get something that's comparable cost at a hotel. Anyway, whatever. Hirakatashi was the answer. And again, I was also like actually more familiar with that area then than I am now, blah, 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 blah. But he got flack because someone was like, you're eating Indian food in Japan? And Dallas was like, we're here for 3 weeks. And it's like, come on, there's like lots more to eat than just Japanese food in Japan. Anyway, best East Indian, best curry I've had. Oh, it's so good. They have like a mushroom curry that is just like divine. So, if I stay in Hirakatashi, that is definitely a must stop. The other nice thing about staying in Hirakatashi actually is it's got all the chain restaurants that I liked eating at, like Osaka Osho for gyoza and Futsugetsu for okonomiyaki, and like it's just comfortable. So I think that is the right, well, it's definitely the right monetary decision. I think it's just the right decision in general. Ooh, this is a big roll. Okay, let's see what we have. All right, and I need to come back and see the chat. Okay. But yeah, now I'm daydreaming about curry. What time is it there? 1:02 p.m. It would be the perfect lunchtime curry right now. I'm sure it's changed a lot because I haven't been back to Hirakatashi for a long time. Like, probably the last trip I made to Hirakatashi was actually 2016 when I went back with Dallas. Now that I think of it, so it's been 8 years. Yeah, over 8 years already. So, and he's gonna have been, so if we only end up going back or we go back in 2026 with the family, hopefully. Everything works out, nothing, we can still travel at that point, all of that. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to travel at that point, but obviously stranger things have happened in our lifetime and very recently in our lifetime. Anyway, not to be like Debbie Downer, but also can we just mention that I am extremely glad that my name is not Debbie and I am not like a Debbie married to a Dallas. Stuff, words. Anyway, he'll have been out of Japan if we don't go back as a family until 2026. I'm still kind of hoping that I can make the business work well enough that we could go as a family next year. That's why the November idea is just kind of jelly. But in my little selfish hearts, I was like, if I can swing this, that would be amazing. Anyway, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'll still solo trip, because honestly, a solo trip would also be amazing, to be honest. So I'm like half like yes, and half like eh. If I had more air miles, we would swing January for sure. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, he's not gonna recognize it because it's like so much has changed since he was there. It's ridiculous. Like so many upgrades to the train lines in Tokyo, and because like they did a lot of work for the Olympics in 2020, which had actually started back in like 2018 or 2017. That was his last trip, was November of 2017. So 7 years so far. So 26 will be like 8.5 years since his last trip, which is just, he'll have been out of Japan longer than I was between my exchange and our return sort of thing. Okay, I need to crank this a little bit. It's a little bit low for this one, and it does need, I need to get this center crease out, if nothing else, or at least tamed a bit. Ooh, it is steaming and burning off residue of something. Ooh, probably don't want to know. Definitely don't want to know. Never mind. Not probably. Don't. I definitely don't. Let's just pretend I didn't even see that. Okay. It's nothing terrible for my health, I'm sure. It definitely smells like mothballs, though. I did talk to him about, I think I want to convert that closet into just hanging space. And then I realized what we'll do, because we're planning on homeschooling, is we'll go and it will just stay downstairs, at least for now. And we can put like craft supplies and books and stuff into it for them, for the kiddos downstairs. And even actually right now we can do it to like clear up their desks, their little desks that they have down here. And that can be the start to like, okay, so here's your work day. Tidy up after you're done your work day. Does Mama tidy up after she's done her work day? No. But that's because it's like an ever revolving thing of just work. But they can like start to put their crayons away or whatever they've worked on that at that point. And also store their beads and things. Because I will say one benefit to having the carpet down here versus the hardwood upstairs is when they drop beads down here, they don't scatter everywhere. There was a mishap with a bead bucket probably almost a month ago now, and I am still finding beads. And there's still beads under the bookshelves upstairs that like they will remain there until we either do built-ins or we like downsize. Because those things are bolted to the wall, so they're not going anywhere. Okay. Interfacing. Getting cut. Oh yeah, and we'll do, not going to do kimono or obi scrunchies, but I will probably do some scrunchies for next week as well, just because they're quick. And a nice way to use up some of the like larger scraps, which is fun. They're fun. That's the thing. So we'll see what I have for that. I know I have a couple over there. If I find the lining for the eyeglass cases, I will try and get them done because they don't take very long either, which is the benefit to them. But we'll see. Who knows? I don't know. As long as the kids cooperate and don't get sick or anything like that too. 'Cause, you know, there is a high chance of that still as well. Although it should be getting better since we're heading into the summer months. I hope we don't have like a bunch of summer colds this year, because that would suck. Summer colds are the worst anyway, and then summer being like my busy, well, April was busy too, but it was brutal because we were sick in March, basically. And we were sick for so long in March. Because I did that whole week of like, okay, if I just chill and I relax and I don't like stress my body with a bunch of exercise, I shouldn't get sick. And then I got sick. And then we got the stomach bug. And then we're still sick. Just like, no. That's not how it's supposed to work. Alright. That piece is ready. This piece is ready. Flip it. Then it's going to be water time. Water. I have not drank enough water today or recently. Okay. Shimmy. Shimmy. Okay, and then this goes in here like this. And water time. So we're going to shimmy that back a little bit so it doesn't get over pressed, because there is such a thing as over adhering interfacing. So we just try to avoid that because, it's just a lot of work, because it's like you do the interfacing and then it's like, oh, it's not adhered because I over did it. Yay! Okay, and then this piece doesn't need to be ironed before it gets thrown on, because the wrinkles that are in here will be better pressed out by the press anyway. They're not wrinkles that are going to cause like permanent creases, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That, however, there we go. Yeah, so if this pie in the sky little vain idea of mine happens that I get to go in November, how it'll go down is I will fly into Osaka because it's just as cheap as flying into Tokyo. And realistically, if I'm going and I'm focusing on kimono and obi and the temple market, I don't need to really go to tomato in Tokyo either. So what I'll do is I'll focus in on the kimono and obi, and then I'll do a small stock up at Nomura Taylor. So I'd fly into Osaka so that I don't have to worry about like getting the bullet train, which saves like about $300 round trip. Plus, it's a lot cheaper to get from the Osaka airport, into Osaka, like $30 round trip versus like $50. So that's better too. So there's about there's quite a bit of savings there. Basically, it pays for the hotel, which is nice. And then I would go in. The first day there would be I'd fly in, I'd land, obviously plus 1 day because of the international date line at 2, I think. Oh no, if it's Osaka, it's later. It's I land in Tokyo around 2. And then if you fly into Osaka, it's 6:30 or something when you get there, so that's not bad. It's time to do immigration and stuff like that and not be pressured, because you got to transfer flights, obviously, once you get through that thing. Border control, customs, what's the other word? Immigration. There's something else. It's border control, but what's the word? Immigration. This one is not warbly and wobbly and gross. It's just going to be a nice pressing experience. Excellent. Anyway, fly into Osaka, go up to Hirakashi, crash, because I will be absolutely blastedly tired. And at least if unlike my exchange first day, when my flight got canceled by a typhoon and I only got extremely lucky in having someone help me get to Osaka, I would know how to get myself to Osaka if something like that happened. So, learning. It's all good. Oh, this is the Sheena roll. Okay, I thought this was the Heidi roll for some reason. anyways, so we would do that, and then the first day there would be Toji, which actually works really well. So that is one of the benefits versus October, is that I would basically go straight to Toji, which is the temple market. And then there is a Kuroneko, which is the taku bean, or luggage shipping. And what I would do, it's really close to Kyoto Station. I would like load up my backpack as much as I could, and then have my like luggage stored at like the station. I think I'll have to double check to see if Toji has lockers, but usually they do. If they don't, then I'll store it at like Kyoto Station, because Toji's not that far away. Anyway, store at Kyoto Station. If I need to like go back, I can empty the backpack out, and then I'll take it and I'll just ship it directly to the airport, because I'll be done that. And then whatever space I have extra, I will load up with cotton and linen after that. Yeah, I think it'll work. It's a little bit convoluted compared to just like flying into Tokyo, but honestly, I hang out in Osaka and Kyoto so much anyway that it's gonna be kind of nice. And actually, I think the flights that I was looking at fly into a completely different airport than I experienced, although honestly I don't even remember kicks that much from my exchange, because obviously I didn't fly into it because of the aforementioned typhoon over Tokyo. And when I flew out of it, I was more excited about going home, and I was just really tired. I was just done. I loved being on exchange, but by the time I was done at that time. Again, now that I'm in a different life space, it'd be a completely different experience. The thing though I do find is that like watching people who have done exchanges and then like committed to going over, it's like you kind of, if your goals are to be here and start a family and buy the house and do the whole like white picket fence life, going to Japan or doing stuff like abroad, you kind of put a pause on all of that, because like you make enough money to survive, and like honestly most of the people that I know, they've made enough to like do that and pay their student loans off, so like they're not making bad cash. But like if you want to not be married to a foreigner or another expat, it pauses everything at home basically, or what would be your return home. So like it comes down to that decision as well, and like if it doesn't suit you, it doesn't suit you. And that's kind of where I was at, because everything was here. Dallas was here, my cat was here, school was here. I had to definitely return to graduate. I sound like I'm trying to justify myself, but like I wasn't in the right space to do it at the time. Japan was a very different country then. It's still a very different country now, but it was a very different country 15 years ago even. Which is funny to say. I don't know, I think it's a little bit more accepting now. That was the other thing, is in the end of it all, when I was like coming back, and part of why I decided to part as well is that I didn't want to always feel like the foreigner. That was what it came down to at the time. Now, whatever. Different life situation. If someone came up to me and was like, we can move you and your children and accommodate your husband on his schedule, and you could do whatever you wanted in Japan, I would go for it. So basically, if I could figure out a way to do it now, I probably would. Maybe. It would be a lot of talking. Dallas would need a different schedule. He'd need like a 2-and-2 schedule, which would also, on another flip side, suck. And my kids would definitely be the two very white babies in the Japanese classes. But man, what an experience for them to have. Okay, that actually does need a little bit of a patch up there, because that was stuck way too well to the pressing cloth. We'll do this piece, and I'll get a patch piece for this, and we'll just iron it on with the iron, because there's no point in putting that under the press again. Really? Okay, there we go. I don't actually know if my iron is still on, but whatever. It is now. Okay, so this is the gusset piece for the Sheena, for the mirror bag. Which is going to look amazing, I think. I hope these all turn out well. I hope my sewing skills are up to it. After that Gabrielle shoulder bag, I'm like, ooh. I hope I can do the curved zipper on the Sheena. It's actually the thing I'm thinking. I think I can. One of the things I'm going to do that I did not do on the Gabrielle is like clip all of the zipper tape, and I think that's one of the key things I'll have to do because it is a curve, and sewing zippers into curves is terrifying every single time. And I'm not bad when it curves out, so like this, if the zipper were to go like around my hands like this, but if it goes in to a divot, then I have issues. I don't know why. I think it's probably just the tension on it when it's going around the curve helps to kind of keep it in line, maybe. Who knows? I don't. That's my running theory, though, because it's the only theory I have. I don't know why else it would do that. Okay, I'm going to trim this down a little bit closer because apparently this wanted to eat the pressing cloth with this press, because I don't know why, but it did, and that's why keeping scraps of interfacing around is delightful. Not really. It's good though. It's good practice. Alright, that needs a little bit of a press down here. Otherwise, this Obi has been very cooperative in the fact that it doesn't have a bunch of creases and rolls and wrinkles. And they've just all been able to be pressed out underneath the steam press so far. I like it. Okay. Get that down. Get this across. Get this trimmed up. That's 3 pieces of the gusset, right? I think. And then this will be the 4th piece of the gusset. Like this. And then doop-a-doo. Doop-a-doo. Okay. And then flip make sure that these are all the right direction for the connectors. Yes. And then, so we'll trim those, and we're just going to press all of those at once, rather than cutting them out individually right now, because what is the point of doing that? Probably should trim that down a bit more, but whatever. That's future Katie's problem. 20 seconds from now, it is my problem, not right now. Man, that's just pressing on so well right now. Love it. Okay, and here's the pocket for the Sheena. One Sheena, the pocket for the other Sheena. Okay, cool. We're getting there. Okay, so that does actually need an iron out. The pink does not, because it, no, what's in there is not going to like perma crease, I hope. We're gonna say it's not gonna perma crease. If it does, you can totally point at me and laugh like the character in The Simpsons. Ha ha. But I'm pretty sure it's not going to. I'm pretty sure it'll just press in or press out with the press here. Alright. Pop this up. Ooh, boy. Well, it's definitely adhered, so that's good. Past Katie. There we go. No, apparently these are just... no. I am in trouble. Alright, there we go. No. Can I get it to lift on this side? Maybe? Yes. Good. Okay. And then what about this one? Can I get it? Can I get... oh, I can get under. Good. Oh, that's a lot of interfacing left behind. Alrighty. Zoom. Down. And then we need to iron this. I need to wake up my iron. I don't know if that did it or not, but we'll hope for the best. 2 seconds. Stop beeping at me. Ooh, okay. Massage out that little bit of a bubble. Oh yeah, and then I guess if I go to Kyoto and Osaka, I'll still be able to go to Tokyo Hands as well. The Tokyo Hands at Shinsai. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna press this, and then that is potentially a baby summons. Toddler summons. Close enough. Let me go grab the monitor and just see what kind of outcry that is. I don't like them to leave them to cry, but it's like sometimes they just, well, my youngest is grumpy. 1 second. Okay, I think it was just a grumpy turnover. So if it comes back, then I'll go upstairs. Anyway, I also just realized that there is a really good little craft store in Hirakashi as well that I don't get to go to very often. So that'll be good. I think being forced out of Kyoto because of pricing might be for the best, actually. And like I said, I'll be able to get some different content, because how many people go to Hirakashi in Osaka? Like, it's a very random place, unless you've been there for like exchange. Really, like really. Who goes to Hirakashi? Exchange students, that's it. In fact, it's even hard I know that I got contacted actually when I was in Japan, November of 22. Yeah. Someone contacted me because I always have that I was a former Kansai Gaidai student in my profile, which I will keep there forever, because it is hard to track down people that have been on exchange unless you like personally know them from exchange. So yeah, she actually contacted me before she went, which was super cool of her to like get in touch and everything like that. And then she was actually on exchange when I was there in May as well. That was, yeah, May? I think she was there, because she went and saw the robots that we saw at Yodobashi Camera in Kyoto. So maybe, no, she was there in November. That's right. I think. Anyway, she chatted to me about stuff before she went. And then she was there during one of the trips that I did in that 6-month span. So I just can't remember if it was November or May. And realistically, it doesn't matter. I think it was November because I asked her why she wasn't doing like a full year. Because she's like, I love it and I'm so sad I have to leave. And I'm like, well, extend your exchange. She's like, I have to go back and like, because I'm going to change my major anyway. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough. Also, she is from the States, and I feel like, yeah, but like, basically my exchange ended up meaning that I had student loans in Canada. They're paid off, but I don't feel like the debt accumulation, even from the amount that I had, would have been the same amount as U.S. loans, from my understanding. So I got it. It makes sense. But and actually, yeah, when we go with the kids, we'll have to go do the like tamadensha, so the cat train down in Wakayama, and go see my friend down there. It's a little bit off the beaten track as well, so it's just harder to get to. Go see her because she's got a little one that's like just younger than my youngest, I think. Okay, these both need a press, so I'll wake the iron back up again just because I don't want to get anything creases in this. And then, all right, too many moving parts here, buddy. What you doing? I know you're being a cat, but come on. Yes, you are a very pretty kitty too. But there are a lot of hot and sharp things, bud. And seriously, I don't need to take you to the emergency vet again this year. Please and thank you. So stay over there. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to open. Why did you beep? Okay. Weird. That wasn't even the auto off. It just like randomly beeped at me. All right. Go off. Hi, Soupy. How are you? You having a nice break from the kids because now they're asleep? Sleepy, sleepy, sleeps. Yeah. Oh, look at you. You're such a pretty kitty. Oh, my old man. You're not even that old of an old man, are you? No. You're in your prime. How old are you? You're going to be 7 this year. That's right. You are 7 this year? No, you're going to be 7 this year. 8 this year. Oh, I don't even remember. Between 7 and 8. Because we got you in January of 2017. Which means that you were born in September of 2016. So you're going to be 8 this year. That's nuts. Double the age of my eldest. Although Dahlia is not that much younger either, or much, yeah. So their best guess when she was brought into the shelter was that she was 2, so that makes her like 11 this year, my old girl. Not super old, but like definitely in her senior years now. Let's put it that way. Okay, I'm going to run this underneath without the pressing cloth, and then we're going to turn it over and I'll put the pressing cloth on top and we'll press it down from the top too. Because I think that's more effective, but I want to press these edges out. So we got a little tiny bit more wiggle room with the Sheena cut. Because it's definitely pushing the limits of like where I can actually place the pattern. So if I press open the selvages on this, then we'll have that little bit of extra that's just going to help. Yeah, I don't know. I was going to say something and I can't remember what it was. It escaped the brains. Goodbye. go. I think that's good. It's better. And then the rest of it will get pressed out in the press anyway. It's definitely got the selvages opened up, so that's what I wanted. By the way, when I'm talking about embroidery on most of these, it is actually woven. It's not embroidered in. I don't know why I keep calling it embroidery. That's what I wanted to say. Don't know why I keep calling it embroidery. But that's the word that keeps popping in my mouth, and it's not right. It is like woven. Woven patterns. This one is absolutely fucking spectacular, though. I love the flower because it looks white from afar, but it's like got blues and pinks involved in it as well. And then the pink in it is just spectacular. And then the background is like that iridescent, very similar to the red and blue that we're going to do the NCW out of. But it's like iridescent because of how it's woven. It's just so good. So good. No. You're not allowed to get stuck. Okay, there we go. Ding. Oh, yes. Perfect. Because like that needs to be framed and put on the wall, and now in my head it's like, yeah. Some of these do need to be framed and put on the wall. All right, oh, there we go. We're opened up. Good. Okay, so that can just go underneath. Yeah, okay, go underneath. We're good. So yeah, there it is here. Just like so good. It's got the gold stitching or the gold weaving, and then like I said, the iridescent in the back, and then this flower is my absolute favorite part of this Obi. It is, like I said, it's got like pink and blue. I think that might be showing up on the camera. It usually does pretty well with colors. Although I do find that between the camera and YouTube it gets washed out. So hopefully that came across. And basically what I did with these two is, so that's going to be centered on that floral motif, and then, or this one's going to be centered on this floral motif. That one's going to be centered on this upper floral motif. Because, well, it's more efficient fabric-wise, and they're both gorgeous, so I couldn't choose. So we're just going to do both. There's that El Dorado moment. Both. Why not both? Because, hi. Sometimes I follow the rules I make myself, which is no rules. No rules, just do. Sometimes that's the best thing to do. All right, let's get this pressed. And then, yep. Ooh, that's a lot of fabric. Alrighty. I don't know why I sounded so shocked. I know this bag takes a lot of fabric, but it's just like because the two pieces are like laid out side by side, because it's a there was no fussy cutting it. It's just like, oh, it's like the full width of the interfacing. Okay, so this one we're not going to press because I do not know what these threads are, but I'm going to assume that they're plastic. So we're just going to press the interfacing onto it. Also because the stuff that's like in here is not going to like crease, it's just going to need to be massaged out so there's no bubbling. Spectacular. So good. Interesting. That is an interesting thought to like frame some of it. And then the question is that like something that people would be interested in purchasing, or is that just like a fever dream for myself? Rather than making all purses. And it wouldn't be anything complicated, it'd just be like a rectangle of fabric, basically. That's the thing. It's like, would that be something that someone's interested in? Or I could like stitch together scraps, basically. I don't know. It would make an interesting art piece, that's for sure. Okay, that needs to be pressed before we put it on the interfacing. This is good. It's just going to go on the press and we're good. And we're going to hope and pray that it all just does its thing. I guess that's what that means. Does its thing. What time is it? 10:39. Apparently I'm not responsible for what I say after 10:30 tonight. Let's go with that. Except for the whole, let's frame it and put it on the wall. I think that's genius. But I didn't, like I said, I don't know. Maybe it's not. It is after 10:30. I'm not quite a gremlin, apparently. Although, yeah, don't feed me after midnight. Or get me wet after midnight, I guess. Well, just don't feed me after midnight. After midnight showers are amazing. If your mind went to the gutter, that's definitely where mine went to. Don't worry. But it would be after midnight for me getting into Japan. So I'm like, ooh, a shower after the flight is like the best feeling ever. Because if it'd be 6 o'clock there, when if I land at 6, even 7, I think it's like 6:30 or something like that. That is, honestly, that gets me in earlier than getting into Tokyo and getting into, like, flying into Narita, getting to Tokyo, and then getting on a Shinkansen south to Kyoto. So, like, it would probably get me at the hotel at, like, 7:30, 8 o'clock at the latest. Oh, that is so glorious. Here, I will get out of the way of the camera. I don't know if you can even see that, but it is, I'm going to show that off a bit better. It's just like catching the light perfectly here. Definitely down here as well. Yeah, I see. Okay, so what I'm seeing, it's mostly like the silver, but it's like there's a bunch of like rainbow in this. So good. I actually don't think that's that crazy of an idea to offer like framed kimono and obi, which is probably crazy in and of itself, but zoom. So good. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, let's unfold this here and unfold this here. And then we're going to press it down right here. Just leave it there for a second and take it off. Otherwise, it'll get scalded. That was very close. Sorry. Okay, and then hot there. Not too hot there, so we'll press the rest of that. And then I'll get this pressed open, and then we'll get it under the machine. And then we'll get the interfacing. I will definitely get the interfacing done tonight, especially, well, as long as the kiddos still cooperate, which it sounds like they're going to for a few more minutes. So getting the interfacing done tonight would be amazing. It's always such a big step. And for like, this is not an insignificant amount of bags. But like compared to being able to prep and sew a bunch of like large box bags or small box bags, all of those, this is a significant amount of time. That is slithering everywhere. Slithery, slithery, slithery. Again, I always invite questions in the chat. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Otherwise, I'll just keep kind of monologuing along here. But basically, questions typically help direct my monologue as long as I don't get distracted by something else. Totally possible that I could get distracted by something else. Just fair warning. That has happened on multiple occasions, even when I have a direct question that I can answer. But that's why it's called creative chaos. Apparently that's maybe what I should have called this channel once I returned to it. It's just like creative chaos. Da 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 dun. All right. Good enough. Let's show off this beauty again because, oh my goodness, it's so good. Okay, let's see if that gets, okay, I can see it on my end on the camera. It's all those little speckles in the silver. Now, obviously, the ring light is making it difficult to show it on camera, but in person, it's like you can see them really, really well. This is going to be an absolute pain in the ass to photograph. Yeah, I can't. All I'm seeing here on this side is the silver. So hopefully you caught at least a glimpse of what I'm talking about, because like that gasp or whatever sound I made when I pulled it off of this press was real. I knew it was spectacular, but my goodness. It did the same thing to me in Kyoto though when I bought it at the temple market, because it was like I didn't see any details about it when I was in under the tent, and then I stepped out to put it in my backpack, and I was like, oh, it's way better than I thought it was going to be. Actually, so that is a good point too, that if I were to go to the temple market and do a live stream from the temple market, which would be a lot of fun, I could take you shopping for the kimono and Obi. This would be, I would have already been there for like about 3 hours or more, probably 4 hours, because realistically I would want to be there as early as possible. So that, and that would be the bad jet lag day, so that would work out in everyone's favor, because I could go get breakfast and then head to Toji very early, sort of thing. That would be a lot of fun. So there we go. All right, I'm more and more sold on everything. I couldn't do the live stream from the train, but I could do it from like the train station forward. I would have to figure out where to store my bag. Most of the train stations do have lockers though, so I think I would be able to store it at least at Toji station, and then I would ship it from like the Kyoto station area, because basically I would just fill a bag right then and there. Okay. My back is starting to tell me that this whole leaning over the table thing is not agreeing with it. So let's wrap up here as quick as we can, and then I can at least sit down to do the fiddle cups. Okay. This one, like I said, this one is well loved. The front of it doesn't show a lot of wear, but the interior of it has definitely seen some wear and tear, mostly on the edges. You can tell that like it's a little bit discolored, but like, oh my goodness, the colors in this. So this is the backing to that really bright magenta floral with the gold, this guy. That's coming up next again. Actually, it needs a press out before I throw it under the press. So we'll do that first before I mess around with anything else. Go. I think that's some of the chords from freaking Robin Hood. My God. Yeah, and then I'll make sure to film also like content of like going to the kombini and selecting out snacks and stuff. Although I've seen a lot of people do that recently, but it's still fun because everyone's tastes for snacks is different. And then I can still practice the beer and snack review and stuff before I drag Dallas into doing it with me. So I can figure out what actually works better. So this would be this would be a combo of a lot of live content and then also filmed content, because I'm not fighting the whole Western music thing in Nomura, because Nomura will have Western music on. I'm not going to ask them to turn it off for me to be able to live stream in there. That's dumb and unfair to them. And totally like such an entitled tourist thing to do that no. Maybe if I was there like every week or something, I would like sort something out, but I'm not. So, you know. Hello, phone. I'm sorry for bumping you. All right. So that is all the Sheena cuts. Well, all the Sheena pieces interfaced now. I'm going to iron this down again. Just open up these side seams so that there's a little bit of wiggle room for the pattern. Not too much though, because realistically this is exactly the right width. But anything that's like blank in the selvage will get sewn into the bag anyway, so whatever. There we go. That's going to be a Heidi, large. Okay, now that other piece is also good to go. So we're just going to trim the interfacing for both of these at the same time, because nothing in this is going to set going under the iron. And then this can go over here. Shimmy it a little bit. And then I'll trim it down up here. Like that. Sweet. Okay, now we're going to go from here. Like that. And then we'll trim up here. Zippy zip. And then that's the better chunk here. And then there's a pretty good straight chunk here. I'm thinking I'm going to need a new interfacing roll sooner rather than later. Yep. I shouldn't have looked. Eek. Well, we still have so many bags to finish that have interfacing already cut, because all those Kyoto that I didn't even make out of the cutting room still have to be cut. So, or still have, like, they've already got interface. Do they? No, they don't. Right, we used up the lining and the pockets and the canvas, but we haven't done all the interfacing for. Ooh, okay. Scary. All right, well, I guess we will need another roll of interfacing probably this summer. I don't think I've actually, well, we'll see. It always does tend to last a lot longer than anticipated, so. Because normally the rolls of interfacing, they're 100 yards, 100 meters, whatever, are like a 2-year sort of project. But actually, considering how everything's been going, I'm going to need a second roll this year. Damn it. Oh well. At least they shouldn't have changed the formula by the time I go back to buy another roll, unlike every other time recently. Like, fusible, non-fusible, everything. They like... And I get it, they gotta go with their like most cost effectiveness as well, but it's like every single time I've bought interfacing from them, the first 2 or 3 rolls of non-fusible were the exact same, and then since then it's like luck of the draw. I haven't had a same roll since that. They were always so shocked when I first started buying the bulk rolls, and I'm like, guys, you are like the provider of interfacing of any type in Calgary that's easy to access without like shipping. So, because it would take like, I would have to be very prepared, because it would take like 2 weeks to get the non-fusible in. Now they just carry it bulk all the time, so I must not be the only purchaser anymore. But I was like, no, I need 100 yards. Please order me a roll. I don't know, maybe the non-fusible was just, it was just the non-fusible. I don't know if they had the bulk of the fusible at that time or not as well. So probably just the non-fusible. They're like, what are you using so much non-fusible for? Why do you refuse to use fusible? Because I had my reasons. I still have my reasons, but they're just not as valid anymore. These are going to be so much easier with fusible interfacing versus non-fusible. It's not even going to be funny. Like, so I think I've talked about this before, about how like the quality of my bags went up when I swapped to the industrial machine, and there's absolutely nothing, like, it was not skills based, it was just the machine. And so it took it up that extra level that like I would have never been able to do myself. And I feel like this fusible interfacing has done the same thing. So hey, surprise, the pattern writers actually know what they're doing when they write their patterns typically. Now there's some personal preference in that as well, but they know what they're doing. I should have just listened to them. But it was also like, it is an investment to get all these different like interfacings and webbings and like supplies. So if I could make it work, obviously better for everyone involved, better for my customers, better for me, blah, 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 blah. What's your pocket? And your lining. What is your lining? That's the better question. Are you getting lined with what were we lining this with? Damn it. Flynn, what are you doing? Stay out of the bags, dude. That cat is going to be... I swear, if it's not the kids, it's going to be the cats that send me around the bend. Probably the cats. The kids will start it, the cats will end it. Not really. It's totally the cats. The cats will be what send me around the bend for sure. Okay. What was I lining you with? We've got your exterior, but what is your interior? Was I supposed to cut more? Damn it. I'm like, what is going on? I think I was supposed to cut more for these ones. Okay, so at this point, what would I want to cut? Because if we cut for these ones, I'm going to also need to cut interfacing for them. But if I don't have linings, they don't get finished. Because I'm pretty sure all of that white fabric I designated for pockets for these, which is, or the like red and okay, so maybe the white lining was supposed to be for this then. Did I write it down? Because I wrote down that whole list of what I was going to use for stuff. I don't think I made a note of this one though, because why would I? Oh, nope, that's not going to work. Anyway, why would I make a note of it? That would be too smart. SMRT. There's some more rustling in the youngest room, so let's just make sure that that doesn't lead to more squalling. Hopefully they're good. Okay, I'm not going to worry about this crease down at the bottom because realistically that's going to get cut off because it wasn't included in the original cut. There, and we got rid of the crease in the middle. That's what I was worried about. I think I'm gonna throw that back underneath. So if I don't have lining for this, then we're going to cut lining out of the blue fabric. I know that I want the speckles as much as possible, but yeah, I think that'll look the best in actually both of those. There we go. Good. We're good. So yeah, I'll cut. Okay. We'll press the rest of these. We're going to need lining for them. If I don't end up using it for these ones, then I will have other blue Obis that this will... Obi? It's Obi. It's not Obis, Katie. My brain is tired. We'll have other blue Obi that will take that just as well. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Because then those white pieces can be the pockets for these guys. Yeah. That sounds right. I hope. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know anymore. Anyway, let's prep this piece. And then I guess, I'm going to need to iron it, and then I'm going to need to also cut more interfacing for it. Bah, I thought I was done cutting interfacing. Prep work sucks. That's all it is. Prep work sucks. Oh well. The insane part of this is the more work I put into prep work, the better this whole experience is when I go to sew. So it's like, that is one of those lessons you just, like, I think as beginners we've all, well, okay. As a beginner, I definitely did not do the correct amount of prep work. And I feel like that's true of most crafts. You're just like, I just want to do the thing. So you just do the thing. And then sometimes you luck out and the results are fine and amazing and you're all good. And sometimes, no. A lot of the times, no. Especially if you don't have the skills to back up the potential for the, like, the no part. All right. This one, okay, so my two favorites on this, actually I really like, never mind, I like all those vases. I really like the bamboo here though. And then I really like the plum blossoms. So in ranking, bamboo, plum, peonies. Those look like daisies, but I'm pretty sure they're cosmos. Which, I think I've talked about that recently, that I adore cosmos. To the point, actually, we need to start. No, actually, I decided that I wasn't going to pre-start the cosmos because last time I just scatter seeded them in the pots and that worked out fine. So that's what we're gonna do this year too, because I am not mentally or like physically prepared, as in I don't even have pots yet to do any seed starts or anything like that. So, although we're getting close, we've got, I think safe plant date for Calgary is technically June 1st. So we've got a few more weeks anyway. Less than a month though, which is, how is it? Already the beginning of May. We are 5 months into the year. How? When did that happen? Why did that happen that way? That means if I do go to Japan, I've got just over 6 months, which is also insane that November would only be 6 months away. Like that trip is like 6.5 months away, almost exactly. If it all comes to fruition, but like seriously. So basically what I'm going to do is, because this is a jelly idea, it's not solid, it's not like something that I'm like, I am for sure going. It's just like, we're poking the jelly. It's not solid. It's all just jelly plans. I am going to book the hotel when the booking window opens. So the Hirakashi hotel doesn't open bookings until 3 months in advance. So I'll book the hotel when I'm able to. And then, because it's got free cancellation. So may as well just book it. And then if I make it, I make it. If I don't, I can just cancel the hotel. That's where I'm at with it. So, but then I've secured a room, because that is like flights. It's typically pretty easy to get, because they're still flying the massive like 777s right now. Accommodation at an affordable cost, however, is obviously far more difficult to come by. So, okay, I think we've got enough for the interior lining. I think it's just like one cut, and then the interfacing can just, I think it's just like across the full interfacing width, and we're good. Just super annoyed. Is that, oh, both pieces, sweet. Okay, I need the cut guide for this. For the Heidi large. Hey, I even grabbed the right one. Annoying, but not the end of the world. cat problems. I didn't cut my linings. Okay, there we go. Then we're gonna go zippy zip here. Please cut mostly straight. And we can keep the speckles for stuff later. Actually, that's probably long enough for a nice little dress scarf too, maybe. Pretty short, but that might be nice. Okay. We need 2 pieces. We don't need just 1 piece, we need 2 pieces. Because we need also a piece for the vases. Alrighty, so let's press this open and then we will get the interfacing. I'm like, this isn't right. So the mere florals will get this gorgeous speckle plant pattern in them because it is gorgeous. Alright, and then what we'll do is we'll lay this out and we'll lay this down, and it did the shimmy shimmy up there because of course it did. So I'm just going to shimmy shimmy it back down, try to square it up as best I can because that's the whole point of interfacing it right now. Hey, oh, and here is some perfect fabric for some bookmarks. Look at that. That's what this will be. And actually, if there's enough here, I can even make some bookmarks out of the like silver mirror fabric. Although I think that might be too small. Sad. Whatever. Okay. Pull some of these threads because they're more difficult to pull once they're interfaced because then they're stuck. I don't need the Mario song stuck in my head. I don't know why it's the Mario song when I'm bored. I'm not really even bored. It's just like a holding pattern music. I guess that's it. That's why. It's because it's the holding pattern music in Mario. That's probably exactly it. Okay. Get out of here. Get out of here. You need some interfacing. Where's my interfacing? There's my interfacing. Okay. Last 2 interfacing cuts. So over interfacing right now. Okay, so that is the back. There is one of those stitch points that's holding like a hold stitch. A little bit of stabilizer. This is funny because so I use really heavy stabilizer in the wallets and stuff because of the snaps, but these are little pieces that they sew into the kimono to actually do stabilization as well. So earlier today we did end up finding a really gorgeous piece of cotton stabilizer in the bottom of the kimono. Yeah, and it was spectacular. Alright. Shimmy, shimmy. You actually look like you're fairly straight because you're stuck to the adhesive dots. And then we'll cut this down. And while this is pressing, oh my goodness, it is warm in here. I guess that's what happens when you're facing a press for this long. Anyway, yeah, we'll cut this down, press it, and then we'll cut down the other piece, and then we'll press it. And then I think I have enough energy to continue on and do some of the cutting and the finessing and to make these actually into wallets. Or should I go to bed and actually get a good night's sleep? Like half a dozen of one and 6 of the other. I don't know. Is this? Oh no, that is not the right side. I'm like, this is not the right side because that is the. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. Because like the pattern was there, but it's definitely more prevalent on this side. Actually, it'd be cool to also go back to Heian Jingu in November because it would look very different from my May trip to Heian Jingu because it's a garden. Go to the gardens. Going and doing the gardens would be nice. Okay. Start processing this one. That's going to ping here. Okay, and then the next piece. So what I mean about shimming, it totally is like, and I know I'm like picking it up and moving it around, but like to get this underneath the press, it kind of has to happen that way, unfortunately. If I didn't have to move it as much, it would be better. I guess I could always do like a basting spray or something, but I don't, no. I'll just be on the struggle bus for a few minutes, and you can be on the struggle bus with me for a few minutes while we tackle this slippery ass silk kimono. Apparently my swear words are really out tonight, and I do apologize for that a little bit, but also not at the same time. So okay. Zip, 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 zip. We're good. Doss is always getting after me that I need to stop swaying around the kids as much. And I'm like, honestly, I really don't care if they swear, as long as they learn how to swear correctly and when to swear. Don't go teaching kids on the playground swear words. That is not an appropriate place. At home, around adults, whatever, go for it. So it's like, it's gonna happen anyway. Now obviously that does give kind of a age appropriate level anyway, because they have to be reasonable enough to realize when they are and aren't supposed to use the word. So there's that too. Okay, last one for that piece. I am very, very warm because this is very, very warm. Okay, I'm unplugging the iron. The iron is unplugged because, you know, that's also an important factor in all of this. That'll also help cool it down in this room, and it is wrapped up in the mic. So if I dropped that plug, that could have been disastrous. There we go. Fixed. Okay, we're going to trim this down so that we can get it interfaced. And then I think it might be time for bed. There we go. Honestly, cutting all the linings and all the interfacing and getting all the interfacing done today is a massive accomplishment. That is a lot of work. Like a lot of super fiddly work for this stuff. So I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I think I'm ready for bed. Okay. The iron can go back out, and then I can put this quilt board back out as well, which is nice. Yeah, I'm faded. Okay, so we'll wrap up on the interfacing on this, and then it is bedtime for sure. Fading, fading. Thriller has been an earworm for the past little bit, but it's not Thriller that I'm singing, that the lyrics are. It's always something that I'm just like making up and random. It's like, okay, let's go off not with that. Alrighty, here we go. Threads need to be pulled before we press this interfacing on so that they don't get stuck. Pull, pull. I need a pair of like tweezers for these. Mostly because I end up dropping them so much. There we go. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these ones over here. Done. And those ones up there. Okay, there we go. Good enough. Now where is it? Okay, so we've pressed down to there. So we'll shimmy it up here again. And then, and hey, I got my butt downstairs pretty good because we were almost 2 hours in and it's not even 11:30 yet. 11:30 would be a 2-hour stream. But yeah, I think my brain is done and I'm not quite, I don't think I have the capability to really do any more thought processing right now because I am toast, toasty toast. Plus, I do like to leave myself a little bit of time to do like a transition. So it's not just like transition from toddlers, like work, toddlers work, and then bed. I do like to leave myself a little bit of time to like play my little mobile games or like scroll Instagram a little bit more or whatever. I haven't done all my dailies for my mobile games yet. So there we go. That was a lot of work, guys. I'm very proud of us all. Thank you for joining me. The press is off, and we will get everything cleared up. And then when I come back on, watch my Instagram. I will post a link, or if you would like, please subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you can continue to be updated when I go on live, or post videos and shorts and all the good stuff. And I hope to chat with y'all soon. I will for sure be on stream on Friday while the kiddos are in school after lunch. I'm going to say after lunch, yeah, because I've got spin in the morning and Dallas is home. So most of my streams this coming month will be like second half of the day. But watch my Instagram for when I will be on live, and